In this video, you're going to learn how to price like a pro and stop guessing your prices and not only double your income, but start adding a profit on every single sale. Thanks for watching this video today. And what you're hearing from a lot of the top people isn't true. They're telling you to value-based price, dynamic price, cost plus price, which is figure out the cost and then add something to it, cost plus whatever. And none of these strategies are fact. They're all guesses. Because until you know these three things, how much you're spending, how much you need to make, and how much exact profit you make on each sale, you're guessing whether you're a profitable business or not. So my name's Jacob Roig. Before I get any further, subscribe, like, follow me, do all of the above, whatever it is. But I'm going to share with you some factual experiences, and you're not being told the right things. So if you just price what your competition charges, competitive pricing, that's a guess. You don't know every single expense that your competition has. You need to know your expenses. Who cares what they spend money on? You're not in competition to put them out of business. And if you are, God bless you, go to a different video. But you're not here for that. So don't competitive price. It's a guess. Don't dynamic price. Dynamic pricing is, hey, what's the trend right now? Let me charge what everyone else is charging, or a little bit more, a little bit less. That's dynamic. Again, what is that? That's guessing. You don't have to guess your prices because that isn't a recipe for profitable success. Profitable success is when you know everything that you're spending money on. So if you don't have a list of all of your expenses, and there's two categories for expenses. There's variable costs, which is occasional. It's different every time I pay for it. That's called variable. It's varied. And then you have fixed costs. Fixed costs are a monthly charge every single month. It's the same amount. It's a yearly cost, the same amount. Or it's a set price every time you use it, the same amount. That's called a fixed price. Those are your two expenses. That's it. Anything in your business that you use, even if you had it before you started your business, is now a business expense. Get with a tax strategist who works with small business owners to find out everything that you can claim at the end of a year, because you'll find that it's more advantageous to be above the board and claim everything that the law allows us to claim than to do under the table stuff. And it's really nice to be able to say, if you make $100,000, that you actually make it, and there's a way to do that. So before I get too far, we have our cost. What's our expenses? You have to know those, and you have to factor that into your pricing. The next thing is, what are you going to make? Right? It's not what's left at the end. If you have a set amount that you need to live life the way that you want to live it, then you need to factor that in and then figure out, added with your cost, now you have your income, right? And variable cost or fixed cost can also be our virtual help, our employees if we have them. Those are part of those expenses. Don't forget that. So you have your expenses, you have your income, no one else's, and then you also have your profit. If you don't have a set amount, a percentage of profit on every single transaction, you're not as profitable as you think you may be. And so I promise you, if a corporation sells pens, there is a set profit added to this pen. And that's how they fund their pet projects, that if they work, fantastic. If they don't, we just spent 20 million. Right? They factored it in and they used their profit to fund their business growth. That's what you should do. You shouldn't use your pocket to fund your business growth after a certain period of time. So again, you're going to have your expenses, your income, and a set profit. And if you price it formulaically, like I teach people, you're also going to factor in the tax that you pay on your income and have that factored into every single sale. I'm going to show you really quickly a custom calculator that I created that I take my clients through. Because the second thing that we do when I work with them is we figure out exactly what you need to charge and exactly how many people you need to work with so that it all works, so that you never have to wonder, are you making money or not? You never have to go without. Let me show you this calculator. So it's called a pricing formula, pricing for profit formula. The pricing formula creator is you have your fixed costs, your variable costs, and then the other variables are your profit margin, how many clients you work with, your payroll, which I should just name it your income, and then your tax rate. So if you have all of these things factored, and I'm just going to add another $1,000 here for expenses. And we take our calculations here to fixed cost. And we take our calculations of variable costs and we take it. So our total expenses are $4,000. It's going to tell us when I do it the right way and I finish this with the client, exactly how many clients you need to work with. So in this case, I'm going to add it to 20 and how many people, and what your exact charge is going to be. In this one, if somebody isn't charging a profit, I tell them to go with 20% to start. It's a good profit margin to start with. And if you don't know your tax rate, 22% is not a bad place to start as well. And so once you do this, the calculations come up. It's going to tell you this is exactly what you need to charge for every sale that you have. For consultants, for coaches, for digital programs, this calculator is magical. For seasonal people, we can figure it out because we factor the amount of time, the amount of expenses, and the amount of sales that you make, and then that comes up with a bottom line number. Every single person in every single industry. I've worked with retail, clothing retail, which is seasonal and 500 different products. I've worked with brick and mortar businesses. I've worked with digital people to figure out their pricing, and this calculator will show you exactly what you need to do. So what you need to do today is you need to figure out on a piece of paper or your computer, how much money are you spending on the Zoom, the AI program, your cell phone, the internet, if you work from home. Every single thing that you spend one penny on, the pens, is a business expense. It should be factored. You would never go to another company and work for them and they tell you you have to buy, you're going to use your phone, but we want you to use yours. We're not going to pay you for it. We're going to use your office equipment, but we want you to bring yours into our office. You would never do that. So don't do it for yourself. Make sure that you're charging the right amount by covering your expenses, paying yourself what you deserve, and adding a profit at the end. I'm going to leave you with a really quick example. If you have a total amount of expenses of $1,000 a month, and you work with 4 people, and you also want to make $4,000, you have a total expenditure that you need to bring in of $5,000. That's just to cover the expenses and your pay. We haven't covered profit or taxes yet. So let's say you want to make 10% profit on 5,000 total. That's 500. You would need to add an additional 500 to your expenses. If you want to do 10% profit on 5,000, that's 500. That's an additional $500. So if we add all of that together and we divide it by the number of people that you sell in a month, that's going to give you an idea. But it's only an idea until you work it out on a calculator and you figure out the formula. Once you get the formula, it's a no-brainer. You'll be able to use it the rest of your life. Every single corporation goes through a little bit more detailed, but the same exact formula that you can learn in how to price your product, your services, your programs, anything. And you can factor it out and figure out exactly what you need to charge and how many you need to sell to make it all work. It's not rocket science, but it takes you sitting down and knowing exactly what you're spending money on, exactly what you need to make, and making sure that you had a profit at the end of it. I hope that this helps. If you need information, if I wasn't clear enough, if there's anything that you have a question on, go down below, share it in a comment. I come over frequently, I answer, I respond to it, and if needed, I will meet with you and give you the answer. So that's how passionate I am about you pricing yourself to profitability, and quit listening to all the lies they're telling you to guess your prices. You don't have to do that anymore. Thank you.